What's up? I'm Chalo and I'm uncivilized. So, a lot of people this week are wringing their hands. They got whiplash. We've seen a crash, a mini crash, or however. Um, a plea for patience and time when you didn't have no patience or time for the last guys in office. I think what we're looking at here is a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing, just pulling at straws, pulling at strings, pulling at wires. And if it pulls the wrong thing out, oops, my bad, we put that back. But we're doing great things. A lot of folks are saying, oh, well, he's pulling back the curtain, isn't he? Elon's pulling back the curtain on everything, isn't he? He's not pulling the curtain back on anything. That's what we had inspector generals for. If there was a curtain to be pulled back, there would be an inspector general's report talking about it. But you fired those people and then put it in the hands of people that really aren't auditors, really aren't people who know what they're talking about. So what are we doing there? The other thing that I don't appreciate is people like, I guess my man on CNN, Toure, is talking about him leaving the Democratic Party. Well, go ahead, bye, because I don't know what you're going to get elsewhere. The Democrats weren't the party to take away your health care. Democrats weren't the party to take away your right to your body. The Democrats weren't the ones who says we don't care if kids don't get meals in school. All right. The Democrats weren't the ones who said people who come from a different background or people who come from a different country aren't welcome here because America's closed when it's wide open. The Democrats weren't the people who said, yeah, we're going to take grandma's Social Security check, we're going to put that on our pockets, and maybe a little bit of trickle down to you. Democrat Party has never been any of those things. And you can say, okay, we hate political parties, we hate these ideas, but understand what political parties do before you start talking that stuff. Understand what they're talking about. Understand why we end up trying to go all different types of places and we end up at the same place. We've been doing this for 250 years, people. Okay? So a lot of things we've tried, we end up coming back to because that's the way things work. All right. We're not going back to slavery. We're not going back to these things. But yeah, the battle between political parties have been going on since political parties were invented. And yes, they do harm to societies and especially do harm to democracies because democracy is messy. And so when someone gets a chance to monopolize, especially with money, which the money in politics has always been an argument since the very beginning of this country, this is not a new argument. These things are not new. And they might seem fresh and clean to you, fresh and clean frustrations and worries and rage, but this is what this country was built on. I think everybody's out here, and I've been reluctant to say something because everybody's got something to fuck to say today. And, what is my 2 cents going to matter in a pool and an ocean of people with opinions? Okay. And a lot of them are closely tied to the facts, a lot of them aren't. But how do we pour through all this? How do we understand this? And this is where we have understanding that when we established the fourth estate, when we established the media, the journalists, and gave them that trust, that we trusted them to represent what we're feeling on all sides of the ball, no matter what we feel. But if you're seeing that, you know, these institutions can be co-opted and corrupted, just like any institution that humans run. There is nothing perfect. Show me a perfect civilization from the past, and I'll show you some science fiction. Okay, people, we get along, but we don't get along. You know, so what are we asking each other for? What do we want from each other? Because you put my cousins out of work, you put my folks out of work, people that I know that are good, salt of earth people, that auntie that always has a Christmas card for you, always has a nice little sweater for you. She's a federal employee. She might be a federal retiree. And she doesn't deserve her paycheck. They don't deserve their paychecks because they process things on all of our behalves, no matter what state we live in, whether it's red or blue. And a lot of you idiots think that, and yeah, I know I got to get better at that, but I got to call it what it is. You have these vast, deep opinions, but no constructive understanding of what it is. I can respect some of these people that get on the TV. They know that what they're doing. They know what they're doing without, and they're just fine with that. But some of you folks who are co-signing these people, you have no idea what they know and why they're doing it. They're just telling you what you need to feel and what you need to know so they can do what they need to do. They need their permission structure. They need you to be more worried about men dressing up like a woman or going into a woman's bathroom to sit down and pee than about your health care, you know, about your rights at work, about your right to due process, your freedom of speech. It seems like these companies have more freedom of speech than we, the people, do. But corporations are people too. Helps to buy a Supreme Court. So when I talk about anything, I will let it be known from the truth, from the muscle, from my experience. If I'm wrong, put it in the comments. But other than that, I'm Chalo Crossing, and I'm uncivilized.